Hi, I'm Angelo Montano. Been on the Keith Andrews Show. Fantastic show. Big hello to everyone there in Canada, America. Fantastic. Get on board the Keith Andrews Show. He's a remarkable person. And just remember, your inability is not a disability. Anything you want to achieve, you can. It's all in your heart and in your mind. Love you, Keith. Big kiss from everyone here in Oz. And look forward to being on your show again one day sometime soon. Take care. Love you all.
Everyone, welcome to Keith Andrew Network Worldwide Show. I'm your MC Vital Rose. Today we have a great show lined up for you. Please enjoy and make sure like, share, comment and yes, subscribe. Now everyone, please give a round of applause for your host, the Rocket, Keith Andrew. Acting came early for Angelo Montano, appearing at the age of 4 in the fondly acclaimed Australian series A Country Practice in 1981. For the next 40 years he has built on his career as an actor, taking on roles in award-winning Aussie dramas like Underbelly, Packed to the Rafters, Bike Wars, and Neighbours. Angelo has not been limited to playing characters on television, having also tackled big-budget international tentpole movies with Disney's Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, to fighting alongside Asia's No. 1 megastar Jackie Chan in First Strike. With a long list of productions, movies, and streaming series currently underway locally, Angelo's has recently scored a major movie role set to start filming on the Gold Coast this summer. His long list of credits has placed him in the envious position of being asked to audition for 3 other roles before the end of 2021, that includes a new children's streaming series. His olive complexion and good looks, born from Italian heritage, has been an advantage casting agents benefit from when looking for cultural diversity. Whether taking on drama or comedy, Angelo slips into the part with ease. From performing on stage and theater productions, to television commercials, he continues to learn and hone his craft and love for acting.
Thank you, Vidal Rose, for that lovely introduction. And for people who want to know, this is another fantastic episode of the Australia edition of the Keith Andrew Network. The whole point of my talk show is to show people that even though I have a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities, to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. To prove to them they stem out to something. So hashtag break the labels. So the very first question I want to ask you is, tell our audience a little bit about your background and how you came to do what you do today.
Well, Keith, it started just over 40 years ago. I started in Australian television. I was basically in a show in Australia called A Country Practice, and I was only a little extra role at the time. And it pretty much started from them. I always was a performer from a young age, and I've enjoyed doing it, and I'm still in it after 40 years. So it's been crazy. It's been a crazy journey.
Oh, absolutely. Next question I want to ask you is, do you have any success stories?
Oh, there's plenty of success stories. Depends in which way of life, I suppose. Nothing has ever come easy in that sense of things. So I still say that success is still coming later in my life. With all my hard work, it's eventually taken its toll.
Absolutely. You know, things never come easy.
No. Well, look, some people are fortunate enough that they have fame and fortune in their earlier years. I guess in my early years, I was more honing my craft a bit more and trying to perfect it a little bit better, But in a sense, it's a big world out there. So you just need someone to have a look at you and go, bang, we like this guy. He's a nice guy. We want him to on our show. So, basically that's what I've done. I've just tried to help everyone out, especially especially with the disability side of things, with my daughter as well. She had a heart operation a couple of years back, and actually 4 years ago now. And I just wanted to give something back to people. So for the first time in my life, I actually stopped acting and followed my dream and helped a lot of the young people with disabilities as well. I collected a lot for charities, for the children's hospitals, for cancer, for leukemia, for heart, cross-reference. And I just found it more satisfying personally to see what these poor kids were going through at the time. Having my daughter having a heart op, I was still at the verge of saying, well, there's always someone worse off than us out there. And it's not just about the fame and fortune. And at that time, something was still burning inside me. It doesn't leave you. It's hard to explain. But since I've been a child, people say, oh, I want to be an actor. Okay, well, have you got an agent? I've got a fantastic agent, Gina Stodge Management. She's in Australia and in the US as well. And she just gives me real perspective every day. And I guess that's why we're so passionate as well. Motivation, family, friends, just good people around you. You're going to have your skeptics out there. You're going to have jealousy. It's part of being in the acting world, I suppose.
I agree with you. You have to, there's a lot of, like I said, it is uncensored. There's a lot of bullshit con artists out there. And
there is. Yeah, there is.
A lot of people think when I approach them, you haven't said this, but other people are like, oh, when we got your message, we thought you were selling something. We thought it was a gimmick. We thought it was, I've been doing this for 8.5 years, and I would love to have your agent on.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys chasing me. That was fantastic. It's an honor for me and for my agent and for my whole team and family that you give me this opportunity. And, it's just the dream come true for me. And I look at it as not only my work, but my lifestyle. And I guess it's something, like I said, that it's been in me for these 40 years that you've either got it or you don't. And that's how I say it in the industry. Whether some directors can see that I've got it, well, some do, some don't. That's their choice. But I know what I feel inside, and I'm just being real. And that's what it comes down to. Just be yourself, and you're going to have nice people along the way with directors and casting that are going to help you along the way. You're going to have people that just go, nah. You're going to have people that go, absolutely, we love him. That's part of the industry. We can't please everyone, Keith. We can only please ourselves, I guess.
It's funny because I always say if you try to please everyone, you're setting yourself up for failure.
That's right. And the biggest thing too that I take on myself is that I've never burnt anyone along the way to get to where I am. And I guess that's why people ask me these days, how come you're still doing it, after so many years? Don't you get sick of it, or don't you? And I said, no, because I'm not a churner and burner. I like to help people. There's a lot of students that I've helped over the years as well. And they say, you've been in big productions. Why are you helping me? Because no one actually helped me along the way. But I just wanted to give something back to them to say, if that's your dream and that's your passion, follow it. Don't stop. This is your life. You only get one chance. And don't let any disability or inability stop you. There are people that aren't of a great caliber as actors, and there are people that are of a great caliber. It's like any field, Keith, I think. There's so many people that I've wondered over the years that, you watch tennis or you watch football, or you watch soccer, and you say to yourself, okay, these guys are the top of their league. But how many people out there are actually really good tennis players that would probably beat them, but never did it because they were in fear of taking that risk?
I agree with you. There's a lot of people, they'll say my talk show will never amount to anything. But, once it does, they're going to be like singing another tune.
Jealousy is the biggest thing I've learned over the years, especially in the acting industry. There's so many things that people say and do and throw around, but like I say, when you're hot, they all want a piece of you. But when you're not, they don't want to know you.
It's true. You know, the next one I'm going to ask you is talk about disabilities. But I'm just looking at your profile. Well, my head's down, I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually looking at the script. Yeah, I liked how you referred to, where was it? Let's see, 40 years building your career. Aussie's dreams, like Underbelly, path to Rafter,
Rafters.
Yeah, Rafters.
Yeah, I've done it. I've actually casted in a couple of big American productions coming down Oz. We've got 2 starting very shortly, and hopefully I'm being actually considered for a couple of other ones as well. So it's really good here at the moment because, as you know, with all this stuff that's going around the world at the moment, a lot of American productions are coming to Brisbane and Queensland. So I'm getting a fantastic opportunity being a Brisbane-based actor, I suppose you could say. And it's really good at the moment. I'm enjoying the wave, as they say, riding the wave.
And you're also in Bike Wars and Neighbours.
Yeah, Bikey Wars and Neighbours. They started that a long time ago. I've done so many Australian TV dramas over the years, and it's just been a learning experience. I've worked with some amazing, talented actors. I even worked with American production with Nicolas Cage in The Knowing, and also worked with Jackie Chan and Richard Chamberlain from Thornbirds. That was probably my first biggest American production. And one thing I really enjoyed about it, and I still talk about it, was the food and the drinks that the American productions brought. They were absolutely amazing. You couldn't beat that back then. I was like, how many varieties of orange juice do they have? How many juices do they have? Like, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You mentioned Jackie Chan that you worked with. And
I was in First Strike.
Oh, go ahead.
I was in First Strike with that one. I had a little speaking part, which I never lived it down with my mates for weeks because they kept repeating the line to me every week, as they do. But, that's part and parcel. You're going to get your good mates who are going to, be characters and stir you up. And I suppose with any character actor, whatever line you deliver, it's the same thing. Like, I bet you the soup Nazi guy from Seinfeld cops it every day, no soup for you. But, hey, it's made him who he is. So at the end of the day, I don't care what line I use or what I say. If it makes people smile, that's all that matters to me.
I agree. Now, before I go back to First Strike, I want to ask you, you also worked with Johnny Depp.
Yes, I did on Pirates of the Caribbean. That was quite interesting. He was a bit of a character. Very interesting guy.
So, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, I worked within 1.5 meters of him, so it was quite interesting. We had a bit of good banter on set while the cameras were off.
So I was going to ask you, what was your most favorite part and most memorable part of working with Johnny Depp and being on Pirates of the Caribbean?
I'd have to say getting dressed up in costume, having the full beard, even though I've got one now, but just looking like a pirate, I suppose, was like, had to walk around all day trying to be a comedian going, to everyone. It's just walking around and looking at everyone dressed up as pirates, and it felt like surreal. And when actually Johnny came towards me, because everyone was dressed in pirate gear, I was like, oh my God, that's Johnny Depp. And for 5 seconds you get starstruck, but then being in this field, you've got to learn to have a level head. And when I worked with Nicolas Cage, I spent within 1 meter of each other every time and talking off set and stuff. And so, at the end of the day, we're all people, and that's what it comes down to. But just having that there, and you see things across the board. And, the funniest thing I laugh about, even with working with people like that, is you get told when you're on set, do not take photos, do not do this, and do not annoy the artist. And people just don't listen. And, we all like to have photos and videos and stuff. And I guess it's one thing that I've never done in that sense of things, of taking a lot of photos with celebrities, and I probably regret it. But at the end of the day, it's not invasion. They're probably used to it, but they probably respect you more for not doing that too.
No, you look at, for an example, Robert Downey Jr., I think it's Jimmy Kimmel or Kobe O'Brien, one of them says, did you take anything from the set, or did you ask for anything from the set? And
actually,
And we're,
I did actually.
oh, you
Well, I
did?
was given something. I was given something actually. I wasn't taking it. It was when I was in Thornbirds. It was quite funny because I was very, as you could say, not vain at the time. I was a 19-year-old kid trying to look good, and they whisked me off to wardrobe, and they said, "We've got to make you look like a 1930s priest." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool, do whatever." Next thing, they shaved all of my head around here like Blade Zero, put these like things on, and I'm like, oh, my parents are going to kill me. That was my first thing I thought about. And yeah, it was quite interesting to do that. And so I got to keep my priest outfit, which was really interesting. The guy goes, "Oh, you can keep it." And I said, "Oh, thank you." Because I was so excited. It was my first big, Hollywood film, Thornbird. So,
Definitely, for people out there, should definitely check it out. But it's
yeah.
funny because actually Robert Downey Jr. says, "Yeah, when we were done with the Avengers, I took the giant A."
Well, hey, I suppose when you get to that level, you can take whatever you want, pretty much.
Pretty much, like, hey, he's a household name. So, hey, if he wants the
Oh,
giant A, just give it to him.
give him the A. That's
But
it.
that's the number one I'll ask you. What is your opinion about having Americans casting Australians in big name movies? For an
Look,
example, you have let's see, you have Hugh Laurie, you have Hugh Grant. I believe he's a big actor. He hasn't done anything as of late. No shade thrown at him. But big name actors. You look at Russell Crowe. You look at
yep.
Hugh Jackman. But it's funny, how we always go to Australia. It's like, who's going to be the big next breakout star?
Well, look, I personally think why they're going towards Australia. I'm not. Please don't think I'm having a dig at America at all. Because I love America. I think that a little bit more realistic as well too. They want that diversity as well, and there's a lot of undiscovered talent here, like myself. No, there is, and I just think they just need to open their horizons and give opportunity. It's not just the part that I just recently got just right now. There was over probably 200,000 applications from America and Australia that I got the role. So for me personally, that was a great achievement. And I'm still in shock actually that I've got it. So you're humbled as well as going, what am I going to do? Wow, this is a big opportunity now for me. So I guess it's great that they are looking at you more. And I think that with filming and how the world is at the moment, they'd be crazy not to. And like I said at the beginning, because of where I am, especially in Brisbane, it's fantastic because you've got that opportunity now that these American productions are coming to Australia and they can film with not many regulations, I could say. And probably costings are down as well. So, it makes better sense for them to film here too.
Next one I want to ask you is, you worked with so many great actors, Jackie Chan, Johnny Depp, Nicolas Cage. What is the best advice you ever gotten in the entertainment world?
The best advice I got in the entertainment world was probably from Nicolas Cage. And he said to me, "Son, just be who you are. And no matter what you have to do, go over the top if you have to. But never give up. If that's in your heart, follow your dreams." And at the time, I'm like, yeah, no worries. And it's something I could say probably about 2 years ago. It flicked a switch inside of me. I started to feel my performances were better. I kept it real more than I did. Like I look back at some of my stuff and I just cringe and go, oh God, 10 years ago, how could you do that? People would be laughing, people would be smiling, people going, oh no. But, you got to walk, what do they say? You got to walk before you run. So at the same time too, not everyone can wake up one morning and go, oh, I'm a brilliant actor. Look at me. Wow, wow, wow. I've never been like that. I guess when I was younger, I wanted the fame more than the work. And that's being real. And if people don't admit that, well, let them say what they want to say. But I've learnt with all classes and, my diploma in film and screen and meeting different people from different scenes over the years. And it's a very ruthless fickle world, because so many people that you're genuine with want to cut you down. And that's what I've learned a lot too, that you could be nice to someone and by the end of it, it's like, hey, oh, is this your knife? Can you have it back? But hey, I don't change as a person. So that's what matters. I am who I am.
No, I feel the same way. For me, well, I do have poor mannerisms, and I'm socially awkward, and I do rub people the wrong way. Sometimes I do it, just to be an ass, but sometimes I'm just being myself, and people are like, "Oh, he's doing it again," and I'm like, I'm not even doing anything. But
you can't fix anyone, Keith. You can't fix everyone. If that's who you are, that's who you are. and like I say, there's always someone out there that loves you, no matter what.
It's true.
And if you worry, yeah. No, I'm saying if you worry about what's the old saying? People that worry, they don't pay your bills, so don't worry about it.
Here's the next one for you. What are you most likely to become famous for?
Oh, hopefully acting. No, it's getting there. So I don't know. I just want people to think that I'm a nice person. Well, I am technically. Just a genuine person who's had a hard life and pretty much helped everyone. I've always just want the best for people. I've always been the type of kid since I was young that was the entertainer of the family. So, everyone looked to, where's Ange? Here he is, and I think the way we're dealing through my pain with my family and breakups and deaths and stuff from a young age that I saw was to make people smile. I never wanted to hurt anyone. That's the feeling that I always had. So whenever I saw someone suffering a pain, it was to put that big smile on their face and distract them. I hate to say this and sound sort of cocky, but I think at a young age, I was very switched on in the sense that if I saw someone in pain, I could change them like that to stop them from suffering. And I guess that's continued to me through life. And a lot of people have said to me, you've never had time for yourself to sit back and who's going to help you when you need it? But I've never needed that. I've had good support around me. I've got a loving family now. I've got a beautiful daughter, and I'm blessed. And so I don't need much more in life. I just want that, I could say, that Hollywood fame. That's fantastic. I'd love to have that. That's more than meets the eyes. And I think, to me personally, that's a reward for what I've done over the last 40 years. That's a self-reward that I'd love to have. And things are starting to happen for me now in a very good way. So I thank the universe.
And the last question, I do actually have two questions, but we're wrapping up on the script part. How do you know when you delivered a high quality performance?
I get 200 messages from all my directors and friends saying, well done, Ange. He goes, you're really getting better. That's amazing stuff. Great work. And I guess probably all the likes that I receive as well. That's probably another thing too. But yeah, I don't know. I just personally think that, like I said to you, something with me flicked a couple of years ago, that I looked at different styles and different things and ways of doing things. I stopped focusing so much on the script side of things and focused more on being that person. And people say that too. Like, I can be honest and say this, Keith. You could go through every class, every dramatic workshop, everything you could possibly do, but it doesn't sink in here, right? Sometimes for some people it does. Some people it doesn't. My thing back then was, I'm going to be rich and famous. I'm going to make money. I'm going to do this. And I don't care about the character of the script. I just want to get on camera. And then I went, no, you're now this guy. This is who you're going to play. This is you. You've got to believe it. And you've got to make it believable too. So I call it acting without acting. And that's, I guess, what the forte is. Just be yourself and be that person, as if you would in a situation like we're doing now as we're talking. So, just being normal, just be real. A good line that Ali G said and Sacha Baron Cohen said years ago, Ali G, keep it real.
That's all about. Same thing with me. I don't put a mask on or anything. What you see is what you get.
That's right. There's no facade here. If you meet me in the street, I'm the same guy as I'm talking to you now. If I go to America, I'm going to be the same guys you're going to see now. I'm probably richer, but but you're going to be seeing me. That's not going to change me. It's going to be who I am. And I guess I've never been involved a lot in those. In my earlier days, I went to all the shows and all the media premieres and all that stuff, and I did a lot of that because all the networking. And I guess it's a reward for what I did, And in 2000, and I think it was 2011, I went to the Logies, which is like the Emmys in Australia, I suppose you could call it. And that was a highlight of my career. So to be around people that I'd watched since I was a kid on TV, wow, that was just an awesome experience for me. That was probably a highlight of my career, if I had to say it.
Absolutely. Now I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but how I always end my show and going forward, I want you to be brutally honest. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what made you say yes? How do you feel now? And what do you recommend to other people?
Oh, look, when you first approached me, I was ecstatic. I have to be honest. I was totally ecstatic. I'm going, oh, great. And anyone from America, Canada that approaches me, I'm happy. That's the type of person I am. I don't brush anyone off or go, get peeved or whatever. If you've taken the respect and the love to find me and see me, well, hey, I'm giving you the honor back to be on your show. And it's an honor for me to be on your show, Keith. I'm honored to be streamed to thousands and millions of people worldwide. It's just brilliant. I can't explain it. And I want to say a big thank you from me, from my agent, and from everyone in Australia. You're doing a fantastic job, and I love your show.
No, I appreciate that. Now I have to do a couple questions for you off the air. But for fans out there, if you're watching on Facebook, hit the subscribe button. You'll be notified when brand new interviews are available. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that bell icon. So like, subscribe, comment. We would love to interact with you. And thank you for watching the KeithAndrewNetWork. Wrapping up your show, it was a real honor and privilege having you as guests, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road. I just want to say thank you very much.